Coming up in today's video, how to set up lighting and audio for interviews. As well as filming weddings, which this YouTube channel is mainly about, my other work is sort of corporate work, promotional videos, that sort of thing. So last week I was out and about in Swansea and I had to film 5 different foster carers giving an interview. So in an ideal world, I like to use the 3-point lighting system. So this is what I'm going to show you how I use it. So here is a basic image of the 3-point lighting setup, and I'll get that onto the screen for you now. So you have your subject, and obviously the camera I usually put directly in front of them. So on one side, at a 45-degree angle, is what we call the key light, or sometimes known as the main light. Then on the other side is your fill light. And this can, you can have this at between a 45-degree to even to a 90-degree angle from your camera. And this is usually 50% of the light of the key light. So it's going to be a little bit softer. And then the third light, and this is why it's called 3-point lighting, is known as the backlight, or sometimes known as the hair light. And again, this is usually 50% of the key light, and this is placed on the same side as the key light, and as you can see from the picture. So here's an example I used 3-point lighting set up the other day, and this is what I love about 3-point lighting, is when you actually see the light in their eyes as well. Now her house was great because she had a sofa set sort of in the middle of the room, and I had room on each side to get the lights in, to get the key light, the fill light and the backlight. But if we look at this example, I filmed him in front of his sofa, which obviously I couldn't get anything behind it, but we had the nice window. So I only set up the key light and the fill light and just used the sort of the natural light coming through the window as the backlights. And that sort of brings me on to another point, is there's so many different ways you can actually use lighting when you're lighting a subject. You could even sometimes you only need the key light. But for what I used to do in my old job for over 10 years, this is the go-to setup that I like when filming, when doing interviews and stuff. And I used to use the exact same setup when I used to film green screen stuff. I used to do like a lot of newsreaders behind the green screen. So when I was filming the newsreader, it was literally the 3-point lighting setup on the newsreader, and then you use a couple of other lights to light up the green screen itself. But this is my favourite method, and that's why I use it now. So the lights I use, I'm really happy with them. They're really good. They're the Aputure Amaran, which I was looking at to get the Aputure C120s, but they were a little bit too expensive when I was buying all my other kits. So these were like a nice cheaper alternative. They're LED, and I've had them just over a year now. So they are listed on my kit.com page, which is in the description below. What I like about them is because they're portable and they actually run off batteries as well as plugging them in. And to charge them, it only needs to be plugged in. And it comes in a handy carry bag as well. And the best thing about these ones is that they change from daylight to tungsten. If you're confused about that, I'm actually going to do a video on camera settings for using daylight lights and tungsten lights, and sort of show you the effects if you get it wrong. They also have a handy remote, turning them on and off, and you can adjust the strength. So that's what I was talking about when, say if you've got the key light on at 100%, your backlight and your fill light should be 50%. In this case, I've actually got my lights on 80%, my key lights. So my fill light and backlight are 40%, because that's half of the key light. So I'll quickly show you using the remotes what the lights actually do. So I'll turn them all off. So my camera's going out of focus because I've got an autofocus. Here we go, I'll put the key light on now. So as you can see, that's where the light's coming from. pretty much half my face is lit up. I'll now put on the fill lights, which just brings, you can now see this side of the face. And this is, depending on what look you want, you might only want half the face. So, but when I do interviews, this is what I'm getting at, is where I like to have the 3-point system. And then the backlight and hairlight, if you look at the shoulder line especially, just lights up that little bit, really does pop. And if that was just on, see, that's just the backlight there. I do it in reverse order now. Backlight, fill light. Because, if you want a little bit of a moody look, these are great for that. You don't even need the key light there. So that's the lighting when I'm doing an interview. Obviously, you've got your camera. And the main thing is, which is in the title of the video, is the audio. So it doesn't matter where your camera is. Your camera could be placed at the other end of the room and you've got like a long lens on it or whatever. What you need to do with the audio is bring it as close as you can to the subject. So one way of doing this is a lapel mic, but when I'm filming an interview, I don't like seeing the mic on the person. So I use my Rode NTG4 shotgun mic, which I've actually got literally just there. You can probably hear me dinging away on a mic stand. So you want to get that as close as you can to the subject. So like I just pointed to you here, I've got it pointing from above, that literally down to my mouth. You could even have it on the floor and you just have it pointing up. So I could have, here's my finger, I could have it just here if I wanted to. The mic coming up just there. And that's why, if you had your microphone on your camera at the back of the room, it'd be really echoey, really quiet. You'd boost it, but it'd just be absolutely terrible. That's why you just have it as close as you can, out of frame obviously, to the subject. So all my equipment is listed on kit.com. I hope you've learned something. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.